Hello everybody, what's up? RezenatorZen here. I'm just watching Hooked, Illegal Drugs and How They Got That Way on History Channel. And they were talking about the marijuana stamps. It's a really dumb, fucked up, retarded law that they came up with in the late 30s, I believe. 30s to 40s. It basically said that you can get marijuana stamps, you get a marijuana license. You can get a marijuana license, but you have to have the pot in hand. But if you have the pot before you get the license, you go to jail. Now, either these guys were stoned off their brain or they're just retarded assholes and they came up with this law. Now, I honestly have not. I've drank small amounts of alcohol, but I've never done any illicit drugs, marijuana, LSD, shrooms, any of that. I've never done any of that. Um, I've never done that. I've never done marijuana. I'm not into that thing, but I think that to agree with him, Gillette, who said that he's gone 40 some years being sober and clean, and he said that all drugs should be legal, and I agree with that statement. I've imbibed alcohol, but um, I've never done any illicit drugs. I have never done any illicit drugs, and I'm pretty sure people on YouTube and things have done that and have drank way below the legal age limit. But I mean, I've never actually like drunk a whole beer, or I've never drunk a whole thing of wine or anything like that. I've never done that. I've only had a swig of beer, and that was justified because I mean I was going through my almost 20-year-old dog dying, and I mean I had some champagne, which not too bad. Uh, but I mean just to outlaw drugs is retarded. I mean, in the dire times we should legalize marijuana so we can tax it to get more revenue to dig us out of this whole fucked up mess. Um, but honestly, though, I've never done any illicit drugs, and I still feel strongly that every drug should be legalized because with legalization becomes regulation, and with regulation comes not these weird the extermination of these weird concoctions of weed. It's like fucking weird combinations of putting uh, formaldehyde in pot. Like all those things are going to be a thing of the past because with regulation becomes standards. And with standards, things like that don't happen. Um, and I'm really sick and tired of the voodoo pharmacology that goes on. With the whole like when they had reefer madness, all that propaganda from the 20s, 30s, and 40s about marijuana is bad, it'll make you violent. Come on. I'm pretty sure everybody on YouTube knows a stoner or has a friend that's a stoner, and you can attest that they probably are not. They're not the most violent person ever. Most cases, they're just gonna sit there, eat, and go to sleep. That's the worst that they will ever do. I mean, but with the voodoo pharmacology that was out back then and is somewhat in use today, you'd think that marijuana is like horrible. And when people say there's no medical use for marijuana, I mean there is a medical use for marijuana. It was used as medicine for millennia. Before it ever got to being illegal, I mean it was used to treat pain, cramps, stomach sickness, kind of shit. But I mean, now, I mean, you can give it to, and it was given to tuberculosis patients to ease the pain and get their appetite back, and that's what it is used for today. It is used to stimulate appetites, and it has it has proven medical uses, and it's a recreational drug anyway, and just to have drugs like marijuana and shrooms and LSD and have all those drugs illegal is just doing a disservice because we can making revenue with it. From a pragmatic standpoint, legalizing drugs becomes regulated. With regulation becomes taxes, and with taxes becomes money that we can get to help build the infrastructure back up that it is horrible now. We can bring it back to the once glorious luster that our infrastructure had. And then with legalizing marijuana and all of these illicit drugs, we could make another regulatory commission. You can employ people, give them money, give them jobs, and that also helps the country in another way. Just aside from getting tax revenue, you can create jobs. But again, this is coming from a person who has never had any illegal substances, like Pengelat, and I share the same viewpoint that um, drugs should be legal. I'm RezenatorZen. This is my stance. Peace, love, harmony, and see you guys later.